Sup nerds, and welcome to the semi-finals of the PBW Junior Heavyweight Championship tournament. The four competitors still left in the running for the Junior Heavyweight Championship are Juice Robinson, who will be taking on Nick Jackson in our first semi-finals matchup. And then Carl Jones, the OGOC, will be taking on the UFC legend Conor McGregor for a spot in the finals, where the winner of both those two respective matches will be facing each other in the finals for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. We also will be having two exhibition matches in this show as a buffer between the semi-finals and the final match. So, without further ado, let's get right into the action with our first semi-finals matchup between Juice Robinson and Nick Jackson. Juice Robinson making his way down to the ring. He made his way to the semi-finals by defeating Alexa Bliss in the previous round, rolling her up in a matter of minutes to work his way through into the semi-finals match. Special match, of course, defeating Akira Tozawa in a dark match. Nick Jackson now on his way down to the ring. His previous match was extremely fast-paced and high-impact matchup against El Generico in a 6-minute matchup, both men going shot for shot, strike for strike, straight from the opening bell. But I'm told that we're going to have the same intensity and speed in this match. Will Nick Jackson slow his pace down for the semi-finals and keep himself strong for his perhaps finals later in the night if he makes it there? Standing moonsault by Nick Jackson, the match that beat El Generico previously as part of the Jackson celebration. Super kick already! Super kick party beginning early for Nick Jackson. Deciding against a top rope maneuver, perhaps wanting to not risk it, considering he needs to preserve his own energy for later in the night if he manages to knock off Juice Robinson. Here, Hurricane Rana by Nick Jackson in the rope. Red Shoes falling off the pinfall. Spinebuster by Juice Robinson, followed by a figure 4 leg lock, trying to take away the power of the super kick from Nick Jackson. Couple chops and some kind of feel each other out here. Perhaps slow pace is indeed what they're going for. A huge knee strike by Juice Robinson, taking down Nick Jackson, followed by an elbow drop, but Nick Jackson rolls out of the way and a crotch stomp. How dare he? A second crotch stomp, a knee to the crotch, trying to take advantage of Juice Robinson and work his way through this semi-final. With a super kick, trying to finish off this match. A slap to the face and another super kick. The super kick party in full effect. Standing moonsault, 1 count, 2 count only. Nick Jackson disrespecting Juice Robinson and is paying for it with a busting trap in the ropes. Red Shoes calls for the break. Another super kick from the super kick party. Front flip, big boy senton, moonsault, the Jackson combination won the match against El Generico at 2.9. Juice Robinson 2 undamaged yet, 2 fall, 2 submit, 2 fall. Nick Jackson telling Juice to suck it, run up, moonsault, corkscrew. Can't quite press the advantage on it. Lock up, elbow to the back of the head by Juice Robinson. Roll up, 1 count only. Nick Jackson managing to get his shoulder back up. Nick Jackson been on the offensive for most of this match with an arm drag taking down Juice Robinson and another standing moonsault. 2 count, 2.9. Juice Robinson still staying in this match. Backed up by Juice, but not able to make the cover or press advantage in any way. In fact, so beaten down, even Nick Jackson managed to get up despite being the one who took the move. Another backdrop by Juice Robinson trying to get back into this match. But again, Nick Jackson up to his feet first. Clearly, the extended time of Juice Robinson's second round matches worn out his body longer in this one. Whereas Nick Jackson had a much shorter match in the second round. And that perhaps is in his benefit. Reverse Hurricane Rana. 3 count. Nick Jackson gets the victory. Advances onto our final round. 6 minutes. This is Nick Jackson's second 6-minute match in this tournament. I feel as though the quick match he had against El Generico in the last show definitely improved Nick Jackson's chances here. He seems to be the freshest competitor going into this entire tournament, and now going into this finals, he's wrestled. His first match was longer than his previous 2 combined. He has been storming through these past 2 rounds into the finals. You've got to think he's going to be the favourite to win this entire tournament. He's been the freshest. He's perhaps had the least damage imposed onto him this entire tournament. and perhaps that's exactly the way he wants it, going into the final round. Commiserations for Juice Robinson, Nick Jackson, your first finalist for the juniors title. Our second semi-final matchup sees Carl Jones against Conor McGregor. Both men have MMA influence in their wrestling style. Conor McGregor typically favouring more strikes, whereas Carl Jones more for kicks and knees and submissions. Both men very adept at grappling. It's be very interesting to see if the more pro wrestling MMA influence of Carl Jones can outmatch the more MMA influenced style of Conor McGregor. Both men perhaps equally matched. Both men considered to be underdogs in this competition. Conor McGregor out of his depth, so we thought, in a pro wrestling ring, whereas Carl Jones a rookie into the sport of professional wrestling in his own right. Both men making a tremendous first impression in this first junior heavyweight title tournament, but only one of them can make it to the finals to take on Nick Jackson. And who will that man be? Let's find out. The Welshman Carl Jones making his way to the ring. Pyro going off. This young upstart has definitely made a name for himself in these first 2 rounds of this tournament. His previous match with Ultimo Dragon in the second round was a barn burner, and as much as it did have a slightly disappointing finish, was perhaps some consider match of the night. However, many would believe that the match of the night went to Conor McGregor versus Kushida from the second round matches, as Conor McGregor dismantled Kushida in a very strong, hard-hitting matchup where Conor McGregor defeated Kushida, leaving him bloodied and beaten in 10 minutes. Beginning out for this match, McGregor whipping to the ropes, back elbow, knocking down Carl Jones, going for a submission straight away, going for a heel hold that looks like Carl Jones kicking off both men, looking to try perhaps feel each other out. Oh, this is perhaps a bad idea for Carl Jones, going for cocky covers early in the match, super kick and a stomp to the go. Perhaps Carl Jones' cockiness is paying off for him. Although Conor McGregor now raining those fists down onto Carl Jones the way he defeated Kushida in the second round, perhaps looking to bust open Carl Jones the way he did Kushida, making him lose blood. As we know, Carl Jones had the longest match in the entire tournament previously against Ultimo Dragon, and it was a slower knocker. Slam into the corner goes Carl Jones. Perhaps the retention of damage for Carl Jones being perhaps his downfall in this tournament if he can't outmatch Conor McGregor, who's not taken that much damage. A knee now to the back of the head of Conor McGregor. Perhaps I spoke too soon. Perhaps Carl Jones has a chance here. Kimura lock locked in by Conor McGregor, perhaps mocking Kushida and his hoverboard lock, whom he defeated in the last round. Brainbuster by Carl Jones, sending Conor McGregor to the outside. Carl Jones grabbing the steel chair, perhaps trying to do what he did to Ultimo Dragon and slam Conor McGregor onto the chair. Technically not disqualification, but very morally grey. Going strike for strike, Carl Jones being taken down by the stronger fighter. Back elbow fighting off Conor McGregor. Uppercut taking Carl Jones down. Raining more fists, perhaps trying to bust open Carl Jones. But he manages to fight Conor McGregor off. Standing drop hold, but Conor McGregor manages to move out of the way and just punches Carl Jones straight over the top rope to the outside. Grabbing a kendo stick and rolling back in at 3. Carl Jones definitely trying to play dirty in an attempt to beat Conor McGregor. Get on my level! Get on my level by Carl Jones! Followed by a camel clutch. That was Carl Jones' finisher, ladies and gentlemen. Violence carry, cutter, super kick by Conor McGregor. Carl Jones should have had this one, but he did not go for the cover on Conor McGregor. I feel he wanted to get a submission victory to try and prove he's the best MMA fighter in this tournament. Ducks a line, does Carl Jones, super kick, ducks, running power slam perhaps. And another sloppy, lazy cover on Conor McGregor that was never going to put the MMA legend away. Super kick by Carl Jones, another lazy cover, trying to make quick work of Conor McGregor, who managed to power out at 2. Uppercut by the Irish fighter. Powered up, but a front chancery by Carl Jones, taking him down, looking to perhaps go aerial. We did not see him as much into Ultimate Dragon. Conor McGregor seems to have watched the tapes and knows to get out of range of Carl Jones when he reaches the top rope. DDT took both men down, raining a flurry of blows as Conor McGregor all to the head, fired up, raining down fists onto Carl Jones, Carl looking to bust him open, and he does. Blood pouring out of Carl Jones' face, down onto his chest and leaking onto the mat. A gut kick takes down Conor McGregor. Carl Jones again looking to go up top. Perhaps not the best idea with blood covering his face. He decides against it. Perhaps his vision impaired by the blood. Powerbomb, how he defeated Ultimate Dragon, gets nearly a 3 count with it. However, remember, he defeated Ultimate Dragon with a powerbomb onto a chair. That was just a regular powerbomb. Now thrown out of the ring goes Carl Jones. Count of 3 now, got into a count of 20 to get back in. Carl Jones, it seems like he's grabbed a steel chair, rolls back in at 3. Again, trying to play dirty in this. Conor McGregor not having any of it. Drop toe hold into the ring. Carl Jones again looking for the aerial offensive maneuver. Conor McGregor again rolls out of the way. Super kick by Carl Jones and a lazy cover for a 1, for a 2, for a 2.9. Conor McGregor just barely gets out of the cover. Another single leg takedown followed by a slam. Conor McGregor trying to punch Carl Jones into submission here. More strikes to the head, trying to knock out Carl Jones again, just like he did to Kushida in the second round matchup. Perhaps looking for another aerial maneuver. Carl Jones not having any luck going up top in the entire tournament here. Another powerbomb to Conor McGregor. 1 count, 2 count. 2.9 again. Conor McGregor fighting his way out. No guard on this rain of glorious elbows, but Carl Jones somehow managed to stay in it. And a headbutt, a brutal headbutt, drops all, taking Conor McGregor down. Carl Jones definitely showing more fight. This is Conor McGregor's longest fight in this entire tournament, but perhaps Carl Jones is in worse shape than Conor McGregor is right now. Belly to belly suplex by the Welshman, taking out the Irishman. Fired up, running, power slam into the centre of the ring. Lazy cover for a 1, for a 2, for a 3! Carl Jones does it. Carl Jones takes out Conor McGregor. That was indeed a clinic of a match. Conor McGregor, who seemed to have the advantage going in this with the 2 shortest matches of the tournament going in, seemed to be far fresher than Carl Jones, but the young upstart pulled off perhaps what could be considered an upset, going over Conor McGregor in Conor McGregor's longest match of the tournament and Carl Jones' shortest match going into the finals against Nick Jackson. And now, taking a break from our tournament action, we do have an exhibition match between the heavyweight, the cleaner Kenny Omega, and the junior, the future of flight, Ricochet. This match is a great opportunity for both men to create a name for themselves, to really establish themselves as perhaps the top guys in this company, trying to get fans early on in the careers, trying to get fans early on in the lifespan of PBW, trying to become fan favourites, or perhaps just establish themselves as the main event players of PBW. This exhibition match begins next. Kenny Omega working his way down to the ring currently. His debut on PBW as it is for his opponent, coming down from Canada, the Canadian-born Kenny Omega. Very highly touted, very well respected in the ring. We'll have to see if he lives up to the hype in this new promotion. Looking at his opponent as well, highly regarded. The future of flight, known as being one of the best aerial offensive technicians in the entire game. His high flying skill is perhaps unmatched. His speed and athleticism is second to none, many say. There we go, showing off something with a backflip to begin this match. Red Shoes calls for the bell. Both men circling with each other, lock up. Kenny Omega beginning with a chop here. And a kick to the gut by Ricochet, trying to put Kenny Omega in his place, maybe the bigger man. Ricochet trying to prove he's not the better one. Kicks to the gut by Kenny Omega, followed by a knee to the back of the head. Those strong knees of Kenny Omega are very, very dangerous weapon in his arsenal. Whip to the ropes goes Kenny Omega. Ricochet with a victory roll up onto Kenny Omega, who gets a kick out for 1. Looking to the ropes again goes Omega. Leapfrog over, bounce off the ropes. Both headbutt each other in the ring. Palm strike to the face by Kenny Omega. Test of strength. Roman knuckle lock, followed by an arm drag by Kenny Omega. as then following each other around, spinning back fist, misses by Ricochet, elbow to the face, doesn't however. Gut hit misses from Kenny Omega, pick him up, scoop, power slam. Drags him up by his hair, whips him into the ropes. Kenny Omega goes for an arm drag, but Ricochet slides under, Roman knuckle up again. This time it seems as though both men, neither able to get an advantage on it. Spinning heel hook throw, followed by some chops by Kenny Omega. Hurricane Rana by Ricochet, palm strike misses. Slams Kenny Omega's head into the corner. Snapmare by Kenny Omega, taking down Ricochet, dragging him closer to the center of the ring. Knee to the face on the ground goes Ricochet. Kicks to the stomach, again taking down the future of Flight. Elbow to the back of the head, knocks Kenny Omega down. Kenny Omega whips Ricochet into the ropes, followed by a Hurricane Rana into the ropes again. Working on the neck of Ricochet. Ricochet with a receipt returns the favour. Another Hurricane Rana of his own. Standing shooting star pressed by Ricochet. Such impressive athletic ability by the future of Flight. Backdrop into the corner, both men down, neither able to capitalise, both men up at roughly the same time. Snap suplex by Ricochet brings Kenny Omega closer to the centre of the ring. Perhaps going for another backdrop, does Ricochet. Kenny Omega not able to get up, cover, 1, 2, kick out before 2, Kenny Omega far too resilient. Whipped into the ropes, a roll up by Ricochet, and a 1 count again, Kenny Omega. Too resilient to be put away this quickly. Hurricane Rana takes down Ricochet. Lock up, chop, elbow, chop, elbow, chop, elbow, chop. Takes down Ricochet. Kenny Omega perhaps the stronger of the two here. 54 leg lock in the ropes. Red Shoes calls for the break. Goes for a discus punch, but Kenny Omega ducks under. Chop to Kenny Omega. Lifts up onto his shoulders in a rolling senton by Kenny Omega. Neither man able to capitalise with both up at roughly the same time. Chancellor and an elbow to the back of the head by Ricochet. Ricochet with another backdrop. Again, both men taken down by it. Kenny Omega with a sit-out powerbomb taking down Ricochet, but he's in the ropes. Step up Inzaguri by Kenny Omega taking down the future of Flight. Perhaps looking for the rolling senton does Kenny Omega. Poison Frankensteiner, Poison Rana, followed by a roll-up, perhaps looking to steal an early victory here. 2.9, Ricochet just manages to stay in. Kenny Omega waiting to try and win this match before the 20-minute time limit can elapse. They're 7 minutes into the match. He wants a quick, easy showing to show himself off in his debut matchup, as I'm sure does Ricochet. Scissor kick by Ricochet, taking down Kenny Omega, followed by a standing shooting star press. 1 count, 2 count, Kenny Omega kicks out. A standing shooting star press of his own by Kenny Omega. 2 count, kick out again. These two going strike for strike, maneuver for maneuver. A stunner by Ricochet, taking down Kenny Omega. Discus clothesline takes down Kenny Omega. Fighting Spirit gets his way back up onto his feet. Spinning Soulbud by Ricochet, taking down Kenny Omega, perhaps waiting for his aerial offense. Kenny Omega wasn't getting up in time, and Ricochet decided it wasn't worth the risk. Goes up onto his shoulders. Oh my god! Raw Winged Angel! 1, 2, 3! Kenny Omega gets the victory in 8.5 minutes with the 1 Winged Angel onto Ricochet. Kenny Omega perhaps proving he is the next face of PBW in its first opening weeks. Definitely making a strong showing on why he should perhaps be considered the future of PBW. Ricochet, a very, very impressive showing, but could not quite get the job done against the far heavier Kenny Omega. And now we see the first tag team matchup in PBW history, with The Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, taking on the Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt Hardy. Dash Wilder on his way down to the ring now. The Revival, known for the very technical, old school tag team based maneuvers, a lot of double team maneuvers, perhaps despicable and devious maneuvers. I definitely wouldn't see the Revival playing very fair. Both of them known for being tough. No flips, just fists is their own phrase in their own words. Scott Dawson, known for his likeness to Arn Anderson, the great Arn Anderson of old, known for using the Spinebuster and various other just technical stylings that remind people of him, the tough son of a bitch. Meanwhile, Matt Hardy coming on his way down to the ring now. The Hardy Boyz definitely have a much different style to the Revival. Hardy's more high-flying, more entertainment-based. Definitely ones to try and get the crowd behind them, whereas the Revival don't seem to care if the crowd will boo or cheer them. Whereas the Hardys definitely here to put on a show every time they come out. Jeff Hardy making his way down to the ring to join his brother against the Revival. Definitely the high flyer of the two high flyers, Jeff Hardy here. Wanting to make a name for himself and his brother in this tag team offensive match. Trying to put the tag team division on notice in this first ever tag team match in PBW history. Jeff Hardy starting off against Scott Dawson. The two circling each other in the ring. Lock up, punched by Scott Dawson, trying to perhaps prove he's stronger in the earlier goings of this match. But Jeff Hardy with a drop toe taking down Scott Dawson, strike to strike, trying to feel each other out here. This is the drop kick. Stomping knee by Scott Dawson. Scott Dawson keeping Jeff Hardy in his own team's corner as much as he possibly can. Test the strength, Roman knuckle lock, followed by another drop to hold by Jeff Hardy, whipped into the corner. Scott Dawson trying to keep Jeff Hardy where he wants him, slicing the ring in half. Overhand punch, oh my god! Scott Dawson is busted open. Scott Dawson has been busted open within 2 minutes of this match by Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy bringing in his brother Matt, double team, going for a double suplex. Scott Dawson is already bleeding. He takes both Hardys down, kicks. He's got to tag out. He tags out to Dash Wilder, trying to perhaps recover from the busted open gash on his forehead. He seems a bit dazed, perhaps wanting to get double team in the middle before he leaves, but Reg was calling him out before he can. Arm on the following elbow by Matt Hardy. It seems that Scott Dawson being busted open has perhaps thrown a, pardon the pun, spanner in the works of the Revival. Spanner, of course, because they are known as mechanics, going straight for tries chop for overhand right. Matt Hardy takes down Dash Wilder in his own corner. Spinning scoop side slam by Dash Wilder. Both these men seem to be relatively evenly matched here. Power slam, and Dash Wilder rolls to the outside here to catch a moment's respite. Again, most of this match taking place in the Revival's corner of the ring. Definitely trying to cut off, separate Matt Hardy from his brother Jeff. Strikes being traded here. Neither man able to get quite a significant strike on the other. Neither man with the advantage here, but Dash Wilder with a shoulder block, taking down Matt Hardy, falling point, strikes raining down. Jeff Hardy comes in to try and break it up, trying to assist his brother in some way in this match. Dash Wilder with a leg submission on there, trying to take out Matt Hardy's leg-based offense. Obviously his diving leg drop from the top rope. Signature maneuver of Matt Hardy, trying to take away his aerial range. A backdrop by Matt Hardy, taking his brother Jeff. The Hardy Boyz definitely seem to have the advantage in this matchup. An armbar by Dash Wilder, perhaps trying to even it out, take away the striking power of Jeff Hardy, which apparently can bust people open. Standing leg drop by Brother Nero. Double leg busting crab. Scott Dawson comes in to make the save. Is not needed. Dash Wilder powers out of his own accord. Another double leg busting crab, and Scott Dawson gets straight back in to kick Jeff Hardy off of his tag partner. To 3D! A 3D by the Revival, taking Jeff Hardy out, perhaps trying to take him down. Jeff Hardy foolishly following Dash Wilder into the opposite corner there, not at all where Jeff Hardy wants to be. Scott Dawson now back into the ring. A neckbreaker, swinging neckbreaker by Jeff Hardy. Jackknife with the bridge, only gets a 1 count on Scott Dawson. The blood in the ring, all pouring from Scott Dawson. This is quite disturbing. Running leg drop by Jeff Hardy, misses the back drop kick. Whips Dawson into the ropes, runs back, goes for the high knee, but Dawson managed to duck out of the way. Trading some weak shots are these two men. Overhand right, now trading much stronger shots, trying to take each other down, shot for shot. Who will come first? And it's Jeff Hardy, but Scott Dawson can't stay on his feet either. Dawson's elbow taking down Jeff Hardy again, but he's worked over Brother Nero enough. An elbow to the back. Jeff Hardy struggling to stay on his feet. Lariat takes him down, but manages to make the tag to Matt Hardy. Scott Dawson managing to keep control of both and keeping them both down. Matt Hardy going up top here. Armbar, it looks like, by Matt Hardy. Scott Dawson managing to break his eyes and get him off. Leg sweep by Matt Hardy. Dash Wilder in there to try and make a save for his partner. But Matt Hardy with a belly-to-belly taking him down. Dash trying to even the playing field. Rains of punches down, taking down Matt Hardy by Scott Dawson. Despite the gash across his forehead, definitely trying to hold his own here in this match. One tough son with Shadow Machine. Single man Shadow Machine. Double knees to the face. But doesn't go for the clean. Matt Hardy with fighting spirit getting back up. Another Shadow Machine. But Scott Dawson is perhaps in awful condition here. Can't make the cover. But belly to belly followed by an elbow drop by Matt Hardy climbing to the top rope. Decides against making a dive, knowing that's Jeff Hardy's spot and he doesn't want to take it. Scott Dawson dragging Matt Hardy into his own corner with an armbar here, perhaps looking to snap the arm of Matt Hardy. Dash Wilder with a Shadow Machine onto Jeff Hardy. Badge up to Scott Dawson by Matt Hardy with a cover, hooks the leg, 1 count, Dash breaks it up. Inverted figure 4 leg lock by Dash Wilder, trying to damage the legs of Matt Hardy. Legal men here, of course, Matt Hardy and Scott Dawson. Another single man Shadow Machine, inverted figure 4 leg lock. Dash Wilder coming in to try and stop Jeff Hardy from making the hold, but doesn't matter. Matt Hardy gets away with himself. Another single man Shadow Machine, and then another inverted figure 4 leg lock. The Revival trying their best to isolate both Hardy boys, but I feel as if the gash on Scott Dawson's head and the loss of blood is perhaps making their technique void. They're too dazed and confused. Perhaps Scott Dawson not strong enough to get through this match on his own. Cover that by Jeff Hardy. The elbow drop to the chest as well as a knee to the groin of Jeff Hardy. Scott Dawson whipped into the ropes now. A shoulder tackle taking down Jeff. Scott Dawson wisely getting out of the ring to recover that loss of blood. Excessive by this point. Dash Wilder in the ring trying to cover for his tag team partner. Alabama slam followed by another inverted figure 4 leg lock. Matt Hardy coming in to break up the submission. Sidewalk slam by Matt Hardy followed by a cover by Jeff. Scott Dawson not coming in to break the hold. Confident that Dash Wilder will kick out of his own. Jawbreaker by Jeff Hardy followed by a hook over the leg. 2 count. No! Dash Wilder getting saved in this match. Scott Dawson obviously knowing his partner is a lot tougher than being able to be put away by that kind of match. By that kind of move. Pardon me. Running over top by Matt Hardy. This is just a double team. Scott Dawson doesn't seem like he's able to get into the ring to help out his partner at all. The blood loss perhaps getting to him. A suplex by Jeff Hardy taking down both men. Whipped into the corner goes Dash Wilder into the Hardy side. Sidewalk slam takes down both men in the Hardy's corner. Dash Wilder perhaps looking for an opening here. What's that? Is that a fork? That's a fork! He has just driven a fork into the face of Jeff Hardy. Matt Hardy counters by knocking Dash Wilder down with an elbow up to the back of the head. But Dash Wilder has just busted open. He's cut open Jeff Hardy with a fork. I'm not entirely sure that's extremely legal, but I feel as though Red Shoes is going to allow it, considering it's evening up the playing field now. Jeff Hardy is just as busted open as Dash Wilder. Perhaps it lowers the advantage the Hardy boys have. Elbow drop to the back of Dash Wilder, followed by a leg drop to the back of the head. Goes on a miss, drop kick miss. Lock up, whip into the ropes. Running back drop kick by Jeff Hardy. Hook of the leg, 1 count, 2 count. Scott Dawson makes the save, whips into the ropes. A roll-up by Jeff Hardy. Scott Dawson doesn't see it. Jeff Hardy steals the victory here from the Revival with a roll-up as Scott Dawson was making his way back into the corner and couldn't break up the pin for Dash Wilder. 20 minutes into this match, Jeff Hardy, roll-up, pinfall for the win over Dash Wilder. The Hardys win the first ever tag team match in PBW history. Perhaps this is going to set themselves up for big things in the tag team division, but the Revival looking extremely tough, all the while Scott Dawson staying in the match despite the excessive blood loss early on in the matchup definitely proves how tough the Revival are. But Jeff and Matt Hardy perhaps proving they are more experienced, the veterans of the ring, knowing when to take advantage of a roll-up to get the victory. And now, with that out of the way, we move on to the main event of the evening, the finals of the Junior Heavyweight Championship Tournament. Carl Jones takes on Nick Jackson for the title. Up next. And now finally, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the main event of the evening. The PBW Junior Heavyweight Championship Tournament Finals will see the one half of the Young Bucks, Nick Jackson, who were defeated in his second round match, Juice Robinson, to advance to the finals earlier in the night. He will be taking on perhaps the dark horse of this entire tournament, Carl Jones, who has had possibly match of the night in the previous round and the upset of the tournament, defeating Conor McGregor in 12 minutes with a bloodied, broken face. I believe he has been stitched up by this point, but he does have open wounds that could perhaps be exploited by Nick Jackson, especially if the wound is on the head, which it is, and Nick Jackson focuses his attacks with the Tombstone Piledriver in Single Man Indie Taker and the Super Kick focusing on the head. This could be disastrous for Carl Jones. However, Nick Jackson, not quite used to facing a submission specialist like Carl Jones, an underdog, the upstart, who perhaps Nick Jackson hasn't seen enough tapes of, doesn't know what to expect in his matches. This is a very, very interesting final for this tournament. We'll have to see how it plays out in our finals next. Nick Jackson on his way down to the ring. He's had a very impressive tournament showing earlier in the night, winning his match in spectacularly quick fashion. Again, Nick Jackson, his past two matches have been extremely short, and as much as his match against El Generico last week was slightly hard-hitting and very brutal, was very quick and over with fast. Meanwhile, Carl Jones has had two hellacious slobber knockers in a row against Ultimo Dragon and Conor McGregor. You can see now the blood wiped off. His wounds have been stitched up on his forehead, but that does not mean he is 100%. I guarantee the head will be a target for Nick Jackson in this matchup. Nick Jackson, Carl Jones, fight. Carl Jones taking down Nick Jackson. Perhaps we need to get this done early since he knows that he's perhaps got less fuel in the tank than Nick Jackson does. Match, of course, for the PBW Junior Heavyweight Championship, the first ever inaugural champion, chin-lift by Carl Jones. Again, his submission specialties. Roll-up back bridge by Nick Jackson, again trying to perhaps end this match early. Super kick to the already damaged head of Carl Jones. Carl Jones massively moving out of aerial range for Nick Jackson. We've seen this a lot in this tournament. Everybody knows this is junior tournament. This is the juniors division. They know all the most hard-hitting maneuvers come from the top rope. Everyone knows to stay clear of the effective range of the corners. A flying armbar by Carl Jones, taking out the arm of Nick Jackson, perhaps trying to wear him down. Oh, get on my level this early into the match, 2 minutes in. Get on my level by Carl Jones. His finishing maneuver, but Nick Jackson gets straight back up. Perhaps he didn't quite hit all of the move due to his previous injuries. And Nick Jackson's perhaps lack thereof from his two shorter matches is allowing him to get back up faster. Super kick! Big boy sent on, but Carl Jones gets straight back up from the Jackson combination and a walking side-on followed by an elbow drop to the head. Jackson whipped into the ropes, and again on my level, again rebound from the ropes into the get on my level. Another chin lift. Carl Jones has yet in this entire tournament gone for a cover after hitting his finishing maneuver. Perhaps he senses desperation and needs to hit his hard-hitting moves early, but still knows he's unable to put away Nick Jackson due to his condition comparative to his own. 2 count there from the powerbomb, elbow to the back of the head, taking down Carl Jones. Another elbow to the back of the head, Nick Jackson definitely working over Carl Jones' head. Super kick again, perhaps going to bust open Carl Jones once again for the second time tonight. Belly to belly by Carl Jones. Lock up with a DDT. Carl Jones trying to return the favour with targeting the head. Headbutt misses, going for the one-man indie taker. Tombstone Piledriver in the centre of the ring. Deep cover, deep cover. 2.9. Carl Jones somehow manages to kick out and running power slam into the corner. Nick Jackson straight back up, neck breaker by Carl Jones, working off the head power slam, some kind of head-based submission. Suck it from Nick Jackson, followed by a corkscrew moonsault and a second corkscrew moonsault, working over Carl Jones' heel. almost completely a one-sided matchup with an arm drag from Nick Jackson taking down the Welshman. Carl Jones looking for perhaps a powerbomb, and he hits it with a lazy cover. A 1 count, a 2 count. But Nick Jackson manages to power out, not quite damaged enough yet.
Okay,
One
baby.
single roundhouse kick takes down Carl Jones. Perhaps it's the spell in the end. Another super kick by Nick Jackson. A deep cover, but in the rope, Red Shoes calls for the break. Perhaps this is near the end for Carl Jones, or maybe not, with another powerbomb into the middle of the ring. And a 2.9, Nick Jackson just barely getting his shoulders up at 8 minutes into this match. Elbow to the back of the head. Front flip, big boy senton. Nick Jackson seems to perhaps have this in the bag here for another single indie taker. The tombstone power driver. Front flip, senton. But Carl Jones gets back up for a cover made and dropkick, taking the Welshman back down. Another moonsault after fighting spirit. One off from Carl Jones. 2.9! He somehow stays in the match. That was the move combination that defeated El Generico. Carl Jones hits a third get on my level in this match, going for a flying armbar, trying to take out Nick Jackson. Who knows if it's going to work? The arm hasn't been worked over very much in this matchup. Carl Jones needs to start taking covers after hitting his finisher. 1 count, 2 count, 2.9. Nick Jackson almost had this run with a hurricane around a pin. Another flying armbar by Carl Jones, walking over the arm, trying to make Nick Jackson submit. That's the only way he can do it. Nick Jackson, of course, pardon me, Carl Jones, of course, a rookie in this game, very inexperienced. That's why he's not going for covers where he should be. Another sucker followed by corkscrew moonsault to the lower back of Carl Jones. Perhaps trying to take out the torque he can have to lift him up before they get on my level, so he doesn't have to face it again. Reversed into a tombstone of his own goes Carl Jones. Looking to fly up top, Nick Jackson moving out of the way because Carl Jones knowing he could be met with a reversal into a super kick if he were to jump off onto the standing Nick Jackson. Bobbing his wound across the top row for the standing moonsault for 2.9. Carl Jones barely staying in his house. Another super kick. This is getting almost disturbing to watch. Nick Jackson telling Carl Jones to suck it. But Jones moves up the way. Another super kick by Nick Jackson. Perhaps he's looking for the Shining Wizard, which he gets the running enziguri Shining Wizard-esque. The front flip senton. Another one-man indie taker. Perhaps going for a springboard Hurricane Rana to try and finish up this combination. 2 count, 2.9. Carl Jones stays in this match. Another super kick, taking down the Welshman. Going for, that's right, another springboard Hurricane Rana. Carl Jones in the ropes. Reggie's calls for the break. Going for to get on my level. Nick Jackson telling him, not today, suck my dick. Another single tombstone, single indie taker, running up another corkscrew moonsault onto Carl Jones, followed by a second in a row. Carl Jones fighting spirit up onto his feet. Powerbomb reversed into a Hurricane Rana in the cover. 2 count. Carl Jones kicks out, headbutt, takes down Nick Jackson, begs off, mocking his young buck opponent. Carl Jones' cockiness may cost him this match. Belly to belly by Carl Jones. He's taking no time to cover Nick Jackson, perhaps when he should be. Nick Jackson rolls out of the backdrop. Punch to the back of the head, takes down Carl Jones. Suck it. Corkscrew moonsault onto the back of Carl Jones again. The lower back of Carl Jones being worked on quite a lot here, perhaps the reason why he can't currently hit the powerbomb. Reversed into a cover again for the perhaps the third time in this match, 15 minutes in. Carl Jones, brainbuster to the outside. Nick Jackson falls to the outside of the ring. 3 count, but he gets back in handily. Clearly not damaged enough. This match, a super kick again by Nick Jackson, running front flip senton. Carl Jones back up to his feet, but taken down very quickly with a single strike to the midsection. A neck breaker taking down the Welshman. An impressive showing, but faces another super kick and another standing moonsault. This could perhaps be it for Carl Jones, but no! He just about stays in this match. He seems to not have any offense in this match. Nick Jackson definitely has more in the tank than Carl Jones does, but he's somehow just about staying in this despite his cockiness, despite not going for covers when he should be, despite the damage inflicted on him. A powerbomb nearing the centre of the ring, away from the ropes. 2, 3, we have a victor! Carl Jones has become your first junior heavyweight champion. Just when we thought it was all over, when we thought that Nick Jackson had far more energy in the tank, when we thought that Carl Jones was being too cocky to be able to get a victory here, perhaps his cockiness was more arrogance, perhaps it was confidence, perhaps he knew he could defeat Nick Jackson in this match and knew that he didn't need to rush to covers after finishes. He knew he could get this match won with a powerbomb into a very lazy cover, defeating his Young Buck opponent. This title match, the main event of this evening, won by Carl Jones, who has had perhaps the tournament of his life. Could not have gone any better for the young upstart, winning a junior heavyweight championship. Here we see the coronation of the first champion in PBW history. Carl Jones, the PBW junior heavyweight champion. Congratulations, Carl Jones, your road to this victory, questionable, perhaps even immoral, but I don't think anyone can deny that you have certainly impressed all of the audience watching. You have impressed me, and you have probably impressed all of the boys in the back in the locker room as well. Congratulations, Carl Jones. And that will do it for this PBW Junior Championship Tournament. Carl Jones walking out your victor. Next week, we will see the beginning of the tournament for the PBW World Heavyweight Championship. That's right, the big boys come out to play for the big championship prize in PBW. For now, though, peace, nerds.